Alex hurried towards the balloon, leaving Nathalie to control their dog. Monty was yelping and straining on his leash in an abortive attempt to reach the balloon and the man first. Alex greeted the elderly, bespectacled man with a polite, "Good morning, I'm Alex." To which the gentleman replied, "Good morning, young man. My name is Professor Dougal Watson." Professor Watson was a rather portly, jovial yet slightly absent-minded fellow with soft, white hair that often looked disheveled, as he traveled a lot in windy conditions, in both his convertible automobile and his hot air balloon. His eyes were dark brown, round and serious, with laugh lines at the corners. He also had a white mustache and round spectacles that made him look very smart indeed. Alex replied, "Are you the famous Professor Watson from the Manor House? What are you doing here, Professor Watson?" Professor Watson smiled. "Yes, it is I. Oh, I'm preparing for a flight in my hot air balloon." As he talked, he flitted around like an excited butterfly. "Where are you going, Professor Watson?" "I'm not sure. It will depend on this globe in the winds." Some years ago, on one of his travels, he had found a beautiful, shining globe lying in a field. Having never been able to open it or discover its source, he had taken it along on his journeys ever since. It seemed to have a mind of its own. Ever so often, like today, it would reveal another one of its many secrets. Professor Watson showed Alex the beautifully engraved, metallic globe. "Wow, may I touch it?" "Yes, you may," the professor answered, handing the globe to Alex. Alex gingerly held the globe in both hands, exclaiming, "It's warm." Professor Watson smiled. "Yes, it's a magical globe. It always warms up when someone touches it. I've been trying to understand its powers for a number of years now. I've tried all sorts of experiments," the professor continued. "It seems to put ideas into my head. At times, it seems as if it's waiting for someone or something before it reveals all its abilities." Alex looked puzzled, as he had never held anything like it before. Then he asked the professor where he was going to fly. Professor Watson exclaimed, "I'm really not sure. It's usually always in the hands of the prevailing winds." Alex asked, with an even more puzzled look, "You don't know where you are going?" Professor Watson laughed. "Alex, have you ever been in a hot air balloon?" Alex was very quick to say, "No, never. What's it like?" Professor Watson said, "It has its moments for sure. In fact, I've been testing a theory that may allow me to control when and where." Alex, being quite quick on the uptake, asked, "When and where?" Professor Watson answered, "Yes, when to travel and where to travel. It's why I need ground assistants to follow me on the ground." Alex replied, "Almost like a time machine?" Professor Watson retorted, "You are very observant, young man. Would you like to travel like that?" "Yes, if my sister and our pets can come too." "What pets do you have?" "Monty, our Maltese dog, and Willow, our pet barn owl. They could make excellent passengers. They may even help with my experiments." At this point, Nathalie and Monty reached the two of them, somewhat out of breath from rushing. Nathalie exclaims to Alex, "We are going to be late for school." Alex glances at his watch and frowns. Then he introduces Nathalie to the professor. "Nice to meet you, Nathalie." The professor smiled broadly, nodding his head. "Sir, we really need to be heading to school," Alex said reluctantly. "May we visit you again?" "Oh, I dare say you can. I'm likely to be back soon. Goodbye for now." Alex and Nathalie say goodbye, hurrying home, not wanting to be late for school. They still have to feed Willow, their pet owl. They quickly feed Willow, who complains in her own owl way for the lack of time the children spend with her. Then they take Monty indoors, where they leave him to run amok before they head off to school. Luckily, they arrived just as the first bell is being rung by the duty teacher. The village school. When the first bell rings, all the children line up in classes on the school playground. They quietly wait for the second bell, which is the signal to start filing into their classrooms where their teachers are waiting to greet them. Alex is 3 classes below, Nathalie since he is younger. Alex's class teacher is Mrs. Emmons, a kind older lady who has been teaching primary school children for 20 years. Her warm, friendly, yet firm style was much liked and respected in the school. Alex, with all the children in the class, greets Mrs. Emmons with a "Good morning, Mrs. Emmons." Once all the children are at their desks, Mrs. Emmons replies with, "Good morning, children. We are going to spend a little time with geography this morning. After lunch, we will carry on with our environmental sustainability project." Nathalie's class, being 3 years older, waits patiently in line until the other classes below hers have entered the school. Nathalie's teacher is Mr. Green, another teacher who has been at Meopham Primary School for many years. Nathalie greets Mr. Green with the traditional, "Good morning, Mr. Green," while remaining standing at her desk until all her classmates have entered. Then they all sit down together. Mr. Green then says, "Good morning, children. Today we are spending time learning new words. Then, after morning break, we will be reading aloud." Mr. Green starts with the meaning of words. Nathalie's class has an above-average reading ability with a good word vocabulary. Today, he has chosen more unusual words to learn: fumigate, insecticide, velocity, hypersensitive, organic, seismic. Mr. Green expects the children to know what the words mean and to be able to spell them by the next week's lesson. The children quietly write them down in their exercise books. Alex's class is learning the different countries around the world. Mrs. Emmons starts with England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, France, Belgium, Holland, Germany, Switzerland, Spain, Portugal. She uses a large world map to point out where each country is. The children have to find the major rivers in each country. Alex finds the River Thames and the Severn River quite quickly in England. He has to look harder in Ireland, eventually settling on the River Shannon. For France, he finds the River Seine and the River Saône. He enjoys the search and makes a mental note to learn more countries' riverways. Soon, they hear the bell ring signaling the morning break. All the children in the school receive a small bottle of milk to drink, while the teachers head to the staff room for a cup of tea and biscuits. Once the milk has been drunk, the students are allowed out into the playground for 10 minutes of supervised play before returning to their classes. Alex usually spends time with his friends playing tag or just running around on the hard surface. He was looking forward to the afternoon lesson about the environment. They had started to learn about clean air and fresh water, and how each was essential for good health. Nathalie liked to catch up with her friends and what TV shows they've been watching. They huddled together on a bench, chatting about the latest episode of Postman Pat or what Katie did next.